Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. So I've been wanting to do a project here for a little while in the yard, and I've been waiting for a chance where I could bring you along, and I think today's the day where the weather is going to cooperate and there's not too much noise in the neighborhood. So if you remember, if you've seen some of my other videos, you might have seen me planting up lupins. I planted some in a winter sowing project, and I planted some just in pots. The results weren't the best in my planting, but considering I've never had great luck with growing lupins from seed in the ground, I say this is pretty good. So let's have a look at what I wound up with, and we'll get them planted in the ground. That's what I wound up with, 4 plants. I think originally I had 5 or 6 come up in the fabric pots, and I think I had 3 come up in the winter sowing, but some of them just didn't make it. And now they've been here just way too long, as I've been waiting, because I really wanted to share this with you, but just had trouble finding a time when everything came together to make it work. So I can tell the ones in the pots are really dry, and probably the winter sowing one is a little dry too. So I'm going to get those watered, and then I'll show you where I'm going to put them. So we'll get set up, and I'll meet you in the flower beds. So this is the area that I plan to put them in. It's on the west side of my backyard, and I have some mugo pines on one side and choke cherry. Can't see it, it's just there, up there. And then I have a spring snow crab apple. It's just a decorative crab there. And then if we go in closer, oh, you can see the hanging baskets I planted in a recent video, and the petunias are starting to flower. So they're starting to fill in. You can see they're starting to move up on the sides of the pot. Lobelia are hanging down. I'm excited for those to fill in. But anyways, so if you look down here, I have delphiniums, phlox, a kind of veronica that's hardy here, lilies. I have a spirea that's been badly damaged. It wasn't growing in a good spot, and I moved it, and then we had a really rough winter, and so it's just coming back there. It's a nice variegated one. There's some pasque flower, and then there's just some foliage from some spring bulbs in the front there, and you can see maybe right there, there's one lupin. Anyways, I think this is the spot to put it, because obviously they're happy there. So I'm going to put the other 3, and just going to kind of sprinkle them in around that area there. A lot of that is spring color in that area, like early spring, and then late summer, so this will kind of fill that gap a little bit, I think. Okay, so there's no good way to set these up here where my shadow's not going to be in this a little bit, I don't think, but I'm going to take advantage of today and get this done. Lupins are said to not transplant well, and I have them in these bags, and that was part of the reason, so the roots could grow through in that, and they are growing through, but not very well. So I think I'm going to grab a utility knife and just cut the bottoms. So because lupins aren't supposed to transplant well, they're supposed to have a big taproot. I planted them in these bags hoping that it would make the transition go better for them, but I think I'm going to just slice the bottom of the bags just so they can get that root out. I've spaced the 3 in the bags out here, kind of around this area. It should fill it in nice. And then I'll grab the other one and move it into a nice spot here in a minute. So first thing I'm going to need to do is get the mulch pushed back. lilies out of here. Lilies grow like weeds in my garden. Does anyone else have that? It's my understanding that that lupins like kind of a leaner, more alkaline soil, and I don't know if that's part of why they're unhappy in my yard, but I really like them, so I keep trying to grow them. And make sure that bag gets tucked down, because you don't want it wicking the moisture out of the soil. Those bags are supposed to break down over time. Hopefully they do what they're supposed to. I'm going to leave the tag there so that I know to look for it in the spring and see if it comes back for me. I'm going to put the other one just over to the side and the front there a little bit. So there's actually a sprinkler head right here. Got these daffodils here right now, but again, foliage will be pulled out soon, and then that'll kind of an empty spot, so I'll move this back further. I think in the back here is better, because then the sprinkler won't be beating on it. Stick it in behind there. Try and work around this stuff. So this is that winter sown one. There's some weeds on the side here. There's this one here, more weeds over here. I don't know. I didn't find winter sowing to be that amazing and wonderful. I don't know. I'm not sure I'll do it again. Might just be our climate here. By the time it warms up, I can have things looking a lot bigger and healthier than inside than things starting to get going outside here. Just didn't seem that beneficial to me. But I'll get this one pulled out of here and get it in the ground. See what kind of roots it has on it. You see the water in there? That's one of the things that's so beautiful about lupins, so they hold that water in those leaves there. So such different texture than the flower stalks, of course, are just gorgeous. So get this little space dug out here. It's a little more clay right here. See how that goes. There's definitely more clay in that area. How are we supposed to take these out of here? Okay. There we go. One growing down the side here. Not sure what that is. Let's stick that in a pot and see what it becomes. Here's the lupin. It's got a pretty good root mass on it. putting soil in with the clay, just so it's not a huge transition for it. I don't know if you can see that through the daffodils, but okay, so got the one right there, and then there's one back there, one right there. There's the existing one, and just over there is the last one. So it's got a nice little swoop of them there. Hopefully they grow and thrive and come back year after year for me, because it is something that I would really like to have in my garden, and I just haven't had much luck with it yet. In other years I've tried to do everything right according to the books. This year I'm just plunking them in and seeing what happens. So sometimes, you know, that's the way that works the best. So I'll keep you updated on what happens with these. I'm going to give them a good drink, and hopefully they do well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Every time I try and do something, you come in here. No, that's where I'm working. You can't lay there. No, come on. Come out of there. You can't be there.